Yo, welcome to the chat. Sorry I don't have any moderators in the house tonight, but I heard some sort of squealing sound in the background. I apologize for that. I may have had some unwanted feedback, but we got that problem fixed. Welcome to the podcast. Tonight we're going to be discussing the Karens of the world again. I did do a video earlier this week talking about the different crazy Karen incidents and, had a little laugh. But then once my colleague and friend Isis X joined the chat, it did get a little more serious. And we did start talking about some deeper topics and subjects. And then we wrapped up that video with showing Trumpers for being the fools that they are. But tonight's video is a little bit different. Of course, as you can tell by my avatar and by the thumbnails, I'm a huge fan of teacher, minister, reverend, whatever you want to label him, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. He wore many hats, as well as that of a Black Panther. He was one of the greatest teachers of the 20th century. If you never saw his interview with Donahue, it is on YouTube. It's classic. Everything that he said then was revolving around the Rodney King incident, the OJ incident, kind of in that time frame. And everything he said back then was on point and is relevant to the police brutality, the Black Lives Matter movement, the fragility of white sensibilities when we put them in their place or call them out. So tonight's video is dedicated not only to the teachings of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, but also a wake-up call for maybe some of us who, are idealistic with the kumbaya, let's all come together, MLK, turn the other cheek. I'm sorry, but right now in this time in history, it's not time for that. Sometimes you have to pay the enemy in the only currency they know. And sometimes that's the only way we can protect our own sanctity and safety. I've seen some downright assaults happen and seen Black mothers, Black women turn the other cheek on a lot of these videos of these Karens that are acting out of pocket. And again, it's not to condemn white women, but again, I looked hard and I just don't have a lot of Black Karens out there. I'm sorry. We have Jasmine Virgo in the chat. We have Victoriously Shay. Welcome to the chat. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Anybody who's out there in the bushes, it's okay. You can come out and speak. This isn't a popularity contest at this channel. I love my small handful of people that come through and check out the channel because I prefer a small congregation to a mega church. It's a lot harder to know the members, much less the pastor, at a mega church, and they always want you to spend money and be involved in everything. All I ask you to do is hit the like button and stick around. All right, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to let the master teacher teach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the video up into about 10 or 15 minute increments. If he says anything poignant, if you want to jump in the chat, you can, but I'm going to be pausing the video at certain points to make points and to open up the floor for questions and discussion. And in between those, for our amusement and entertainment, I've got some new, fresh Karen videos that were not included in my video earlier this week that are examples in the past few days of these Neanderthal women acting out of pocket. Mimi, welcome to the chat. Shalom, glad to have you here. Who else do we have new? Proud Mommy of 6. Welcome. This Beach is Better, YouTube celeb. If you haven't, or if you don't know who she is, please subscribe to her channel. Again, highly entertaining and a sister who knows how to keep it real and keeps things 100 and been a fan of the channel. Always glad to have you here, Bridget. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Dr. Khaled's video. And again, we're going to play snippets of it. If you have any problem hearing the video, if you have any background noise or anything, let me know and I'll make sure to fix it. Okay. Again, that intro music, I heard a whistle and I don't want that to happen again. So give me a second and I will get this lined up for you. All right. Here's the video of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You can find this video on Dre Jordan's channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for brother Dre Jordan. And thank you for sharing this video. It's an older post, but again, it could not be more timely for what we're going through these days. So here's Dr. Khalid Muhammad.
All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the world. I bear witness that there is, regardless to land or label or language, but one God. And I bear witness to Osiris, to Isis, to Abraham, to Jesus, to Moses and Muhammad, and all of the great worthies who came in the great line of divine. I greet you, my beloved and beautiful black brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I will try not to hold you very long today, but something is very heavy on my heart, especially with now getting the news of the fate of our young brothers in the so-called Central Park jogger case. It has weighed on my heart all night since getting the news on yesterday. As we look at the case of Sister Mariam Muhammad or Tawana Ross, now we look at this devil white woman. How they attempted to give us an image of this woman of purity and to evoke so much sympathy and empathy around the honor and the purity of this cracker woman. That's right. So I have chosen as my subject today, so hold on to your seatbelts, don't be shocked. I'll clear it up as we go along, but don't let it shock you. My subject today is the white woman is a bitch. Don't leave off the second part, because if you leave off the second part, you'll think I'm being bold. A female, two-legged dog. We are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that of all our studies, history is best qualified, most attractive to reward our research. That if we know what happened yesterday, we can intelligently discuss today, because today is built on yesterday and tomorrow is built on today. That's right. That's right. All kinds of theories on how the white man got here. Some say that all of the people on the face of the planet Earth used to at one time be white. That everybody was white, but because they migrated to hotter climates, that we turned black as a result of going to the temperate zone and to the torrid zone. What foolishness. Climate does not determine the pigmentation of the skin. It is in the skin something that is called melanin, and melanin determines the pigmentation of the skin, and the more we study it now, we are finding that melanin even goes deeper. A study of melanin, we're finding that it's linked to more than just pigmentation, that it might even have something to do with personality. It might have something to do with the core spirituality and even morality of a people. For the people who lack melanin, then they repel to a greater degree than those who have melanin. All things have melanin, but we're talking about the greater concentration of melanin. The people who are the most melanated people are the people who are in tune with nature, in tune and in harmony with the universe and the cosmos. We are taught that for every physical law, there's a mental and a spiritual counterpart. White people repel sunlight. White is the absence of color. It is not the presence of color, but the absence of color. Black is not a color at all. Black is actually the essence from which all of the colors come. But in all of the languages, however you view the white man and the white woman, it is always in this sense of being a demelanated people, a mutant people, an extreme case of albinism walking around on the face of the planet Earth. And so in Spanish, for the term white, you say blanco. B-L-A-N-C-O. And the etymological root is blank. Come on. As we say, nothing. And French is what? Who speaks French? What is it, sister? Blanc. It's blanc. And the root there is also what? Come on. Nothing. Blank. It means the absence of. These are a demelanated mutant people, and they have what is considered many of them, a calcified pineal gland. We'll get into that at another time. But if these are the people who represent an absence of color and less melanin than the people of the earth who are made in God's image and after his likeness, the black woman and the black man, then that means that to some degree they are out of tune and out of sync with nature and the harmony of the sphere. Yes, right. For everything in nature bows and submits to the sunlight. Everything needs sun because sun is the great giver of light, and energy in the universe. Look at the sunflower. There's a flower called the sunflower. As the sun moves, the sunflower moves. In whatever direction the sun moves, the sunflower turns to a minimal degree in that direction so that it can soak in and bathe in the sunlight, drink in the rays of the sun. The sun's rays striking the planet at its imaginary equator causes it to spin at 1,037 miles per hour, making a complete revolution on its own axis every 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds. But it is sunlight striking the planet at its equator that makes it spin and move and causes, as it moves around the sun, bowing in submission to the divine law of Almighty God, it causes the change in the 4 major seasons. But it is light that causes that. And if we are to get out of the condition that we are in as a dead man and a dead woman, a dead black man and a dead black woman, then we must have light in our minds, light to strike our hearts, and light to strike our lives in a way, lives, minds, and hearts in a way that will move us. What kind of light do we need? Come on, good question. Will a flashlight work? No, that's not the right kind of light. What about a match light? No, that won't work. What about a little candle light? No, that won't do it. What about a bud light? No, the bud light won't do it either. It's got to be the light from the wisdom, the supreme wisdom of Almighty God. It must come from the very nature and soul of the people of God, the black man and the black woman. That ancient wisdom and enlightenment, supreme wisdom, is what will cause your brain cells to rotate and will cause your lives to rotate and cause us to move from the state or condition that we are in to a higher plane and higher quality of human life and development as we move beyond womanhood and manhood back to godhood.
All right, I just wanted to pause it right there so I could check in with the chat. Welcome everybody to this teaching on Sundays. One thing that seems like the Christian church doesn't want to do too much of anymore is to teach or to motivate. Just like Reverend Al Sharpton said during the eulogy for George Floyd, there are too many punks in the pulpit. And they say that they're not answering questions, and they're definitely not talking to our boys like this, because this is what our boys need to hear. This is what our girls need to hear. This is what these coons need to hear to wake up out of the fucking spell they're in. The Candace Owens of the world, the Denard, the Paris Denards, all those, the Sheriff Clarks of the world. This is the message they need to hear to awaken that flame, to uncalcify that pineal gland, to get them to wake up and see what's going on in the world, because God's children are uprising. They are waking up, and we're not taking no for an answer anymore. We're not turning the other cheek. If you want Rosa Parks, I'm sorry. If you want MLK, forget about it. Those days are over. We're not going to let the cops keep whooping our ass, and we're not going to keep seeing our boys get hung. There ain't going to be no more Trayvon Martins and guys like George Zimmerman going out getting skittle bags signed by these racist assholes who are still raising money for him in his defense so he can live like a king the rest of his life for killing one of ours. So anybody white that's out there that's angry at Black Lives Matter, you can eat a dick. If you're a Trump fan and you still claim to be an ally of black people, you can eat a dick. I'm sick of seeing videos of my people getting their ass beat on Facebook. And I'm fucking sick of Karens, which is why I made this video tonight. And I've got examples of these witches in fine, excellent fucking form. Now, if you caught my video earlier this week, I did have examples of some of the Karens that we've seen go viral. I took the time to find some more that happened just this week. They have not stopped, and there are more and more and more examples of these people coming out of their shell. And I'm just here to warn you, soon it's going to be your neighbor. It's going to be your coworker. It's going to be that cool person from high school that you smoked weed with and drank beer with and hung out with, and the one that just loves you. May not care for your boyfriend much, or your brothers or your uncles, but they love you, black woman. Those kind of white men that smile at you and hug you and look at the men like we're not shit. Or your black friend or your white friend that says, oh yeah, they should stop rioting because all lives matter. All lives matter. They say the battle lines are being drawn, and it's time for us to stand up for ourselves. I'm going to show the examples of what Dr. Khalid is actually talking about. So that way nobody can say I'm being unfair. You know, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm giving you examples. Here's one. Now this one, tell me how you would have reacted. I'm going to go ahead and get the audio set up for you.
Do you really need this? What do you want to do? Post it for you? How about that? Good. I think I'll get real close to you and pop on you then. How's that? Oh, asshole. Wow. No. No. No way. Let's go. Asshole. Wow. I think I'll get real close to you and pop on you then. How's that? Oh, asshole. Wow. No.
Okay, melanated people. And for those of you who may not be, please tell me in the chat how you would have handled that situation. I would have considered it assault, and I would have felt the need to defend myself, male or female. With everything going around right now, yo. Mimi says, I seen a video earlier, B spit in his face. All the bro did was record it. These brothers are too fearful. I would have fucked her up. Agreed. Jasmine Virgo says, punched in the face, slaps and punches. Yeah. And then I think I do have a video where a sister does set one of these Neanderthals straight. It's one of my favorite videos of the week, and I'm going to make sure I cue that up before I end the video tonight. I have another beast doing beastly things. And again, it's not even always on racial lines. Sometimes they're just beasts to one another. It's just in their nature. Here we go. Let me get the audio and video queued up here for you. And again, tell me how you would handle this if you had to work or if you were just an innocent bystander. I'm curious to see how you would react to this next one. Let's see. There she is. And if you've seen these already on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, just let me know. Now, the one thing I want to really say about this is that I don't think this is a matter of mental health at all. I honestly think it's a spirit, and it's a spirit that is moving through these people that make them feel like they're entitled and that they're able to conduct themselves like this without any repercussions whatsoever. Yes, like Beach said, they are gonna learn, and they're really gonna have to learn the hard way. They don't realize, first of all, we're not all voting for Biden. We're not all Democrats. We're not all this. We're not all Black Lives Matter activists. You know, they try to lump us all in one category, and when it comes to mourning our people or protesting even in the slightest, they get offended. I want to ask the white people that are listening to this video, what the fuck are you so mad about? If I say Black Lives Matter, why does that bother you? If I say fuck the police, why does that bother you so much? Why do you feel the need to cry victim every time I speak my mind? Unless it's guilt. Because like they say, a hit dog will holler every motherfucking time. And, you know, now they feel like the need to crawl out of the woodwork because they're watching Fox News and they're getting ramped up, and then they're talking to each other, just like the Army general that got caught. And I'm not going to play that video tonight. I don't have it queued up, but there was an Army, I believe it was Air Force or some branch of the military, didn't know his phone was on Facebook Live, and they caught the whole racist tirade between him and his wife, talking about the black soldiers, talking about everything. And his career is pretty much going to be over. And that's the thing, too, is that God's justice is swift. And for as many people that think they can get away with this behavior, there's so many others that are getting busted. Anyway, I got one more Karen, and then we're going back to Dr. Khalid. This one was from Ross Story. And this Karen here is harassing a black family that just moved into a neighborhood. Again, if you've seen these already, just let me know in the chat.
Record your man. Record your man moving furniture. Hang on, I'm gonna get my camera to record you in your robe.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
But you've been screaming since what time?
Have we?
You just moved in.
You're the one screaming right now.
You just moved in.
Who's the one screaming, making a scene?
Yeah, you're the one that had the police.
Dumb niggers making a scene, dude.
Right there. That's right.
I'm gonna find out where you work, and you're gonna lose your job for saying
baby,
that.
I get paid by the government.
Yeah, baby.
You can't say that word.
Really, nigger?
Dude.
You're a nigger, honey.
Oh my god.
Do you think because you're not
Alright.
brown, you're not a nigger?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Niggers waking me up at 4? No, I'm sorry, 3:30?
Yeah.
Hang on, I got a phone too, babe. I'm using to call the cops.
Good, call him.
Are you getting in your car drunk, bro? Or are you just high on meth?
Hi, and meth, that's you. You're the one with no teeth.
Now, you see the actions of these beast people, these cave people, rather. You see how they act, especially in the past few weeks, right? Is Dr. Khalid wrong? I mean, didn't Khalid Muhammad at the very beginning of the video hit it right on the head about what we're dealing with here? Or am I wrong for saying that? Because I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there to say that I am being racist for playing this video. I'm playing the video because there's enough truth to it that I feel like enough people need to hear. Maybe they missed it 20, 30 years ago before Dr. Khalid passed. Maybe it's something they need to hear now to know that there are some of us that still have that warrior spirit, male and female. We're willing to stand up for our families and fight for what we believe in. And when fighting with our words isn't enough, then we know how to use these hands. And so, again, you have to pay these people in the only currency they know. But don't take my word for it. There's one wise expert that I, turn to their teachings during times like this. And again, this is Dr. Khalid Muhammad, God rest his soul. I'm going to play some more of his speech. Then we got some more Karens, and I'm going to open up the floor to discussion. Be right back. Yo, welcome to the chat. Oops. That's my bad. Back to Dr. Khalid Muhammad.
As the family of God himself. We being the people of the light, the sons and daughters of the light, we bathed in the sun. In Africa, in some parts, we can walk around what the old folks call, or the elders call, buck neck. Now that's real neck. That ain't just neck. We can walk around buck neck. Walk in the sun. No sun cancer. That's right. Come on. That's right. That's no man tan. That's right. No Caliban. That's right. No suntan lotion. That's right. We just walk around and bathe in the sun. Yeah. Work in the sun. Worship in the sun. Yeah. Play and recreate in the sun. Right. Make love in the sun. Right. Sleep in the sun. Yeah. Eat in the sun. Yeah. Swim in the sun. Bathe in the sun. Yeah. The sons and daughters of the light. The sons and daughters of the sun, because we are in harmony when we are ourselves, and when you leave us alone, we are in harmony with God's divine law. What you see on the streets of Harlem and Brooklyn and Bronx and Queens and Long Island, you're not looking at a real black man. You're not looking at a real black woman. I'm not looking at a real black man. You're not looking at a real black man. I'm not looking at a real black woman, and you're not looking at a real black man. What we are looking at is a black man and a black woman under the effects of captivity. Yes. Under the effects of captivity. Yes. This is not really us. What you see on the streets out there, that's not us. Pimping our women. That's right. Two live crew. What kind of madness is this? Got got our sister out there with her behind out. Come on. Tell me they're down at the Jack the Rapper conference or convention in Atlanta, Georgia, walking sisters around with almost G-strings on. They're mingling among the men like whores and prostitutes. Any black man that will take his black woman and strip her almost naked and turn her behind up to the public is not a black man, but he's a punk. And we need to we will try to teach you something to turn this up. I told them to put another speaker on the back wall, but for some reason we just don't do that. Two Live Crew, we will try to reach them. We will try to teach them. But there will come a time when we're looking for the dedicated black men, the soldiers who are for real, who want to see the liberation of the black nation, who want to see the salvation of the black nation.
Family, I don't mean to pause this right now, but if you believe in the words of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, if you believe in the mission of this channel, if you're enjoying the content that you're watching right now, please don't just hit that thumbs up button. I never ask for money, even though there is a super chat and a Patreon attached to this channel. The one thing that you can do that's worth solid gold is share this video right now. Share on Facebook. Just hit the share button. Share on Twitter. Share on Instagram. Share on Facebook. Share on Reddit. Hit that share button right now if you believe in the message and you know that there's other people that need to hear it. So if you can do that for me, I'd really, really appreciate it. And thank you.
We want to see the black woman and the black man wake up, clean up, and stand up. We cannot be a new people as long as we hold on to the old ways and the old thinking of the white man. We'll just be with our booba and our tiki and our dashiki and our dreadlocks and our crown on our head and our kente cloth. We'll just be the white man's nigger in a dressed up way. No, we have to change today. There must be a new black man and a new black woman. That's the only way we're going to do it. Because the white man's world is falling under the weight of its own corruption. And we cannot build anything following the filth, the immorality, the indecency, the freakish, homosexual, and licentious ways of the white man. And there's no great white woman. Some of you brothers, when we say the white man is the devil, you say, oh yeah, I knew that old skunk was the devil. But when we say the white woman is the devil, you say, oh, wait a minute now. Is the white woman the devil too? The white woman is the mother of the devil. If the white man is the thief, and he is the thief, the white woman is the mother of the thief. If you call the white man the pig, then the white woman is the sow that produces the pig. If the pig is nasty and filthy and dirty and low down, then the sow that produces the pig has to be even more nasty and filthy and dirty and low down. All of these diseases in the black community. That's right. Diseases sweeping Africa. Yeah. Because these nasty, filthy, diseased devils have come in among us. The Indian didn't know nothing about syphilis and gonorrhea. The only way the Indian got it is he got it from the white man when the white man came over on the Mayflower. You didn't come on the Mayflower. You didn't land in Plymouth Rock. You got hit in the head with the rock. You didn't land in Plymouth Rock. But you eat more pumpkin pie, you waiting for November now. You gonna eat more pumpkin pie and more turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce than the cracker. It's Thanksgiving. Every day should be Thanksgiving for the black man and black woman. The sound people that come out. Every day should be Thanksgiving for us. So we don't adopt a white man's holiday. You didn't come on the Mayflower, fool. You came in a slave ship. We came in a slave ship. We didn't come on the Mayflower. But the white man came over and gave venereal diseases to the Indians. Where did the white man get syphilis and gonorrhea from? Got it from the dog. In the caves and hills of Europe. Having intercourse with the dog. I've told you about it before, some of you. I joke about it sometimes, but it's real. I can imagine dear Abby. And the white man writing, Dear Abby. Dear Abby. I've waited so long, Abigail. But gee whiz, I just had to write you. It's just troubling me so much. It's just such a far out problem. It's getting the best of me, Abby. It's Susie Sugar. I'm having problems. It would be all right if she were with another man, but it's not another man. And you know, Abby, how we do things. It would even be all right if it were another woman. But it's not another woman, Abby. Even if it were a nigger, Abby. I could take a nigger. But it's not a nigger, Abby. It's our dog. It's not working. These sound people got to come in here and get the sound together. Don't they? Yes, sir. You can't do this every week. I'm putting you on front street. Where are all the sound people? Have them to come out. Let's look at the sound. Come on out, all of the sound. Come on up front. Where the sound people? Come on out of there. Every week we go through this. Come on up front. These are the sound people. They look like sound brothers. They're going to get it together for us. Let's give them some inspiration and encouragement, because otherwise they do a great job. Give them a black man. Thank you, brother. And so Abby writes it back, Dear Poochie in the Coochie. The white woman has a long-standing relationship with the dog. We never did that in Africa. We don't mess around with them animals in Africa. Them lions and tigers don't play that stuff. The white man has to put a law in the book to protect the sheep. I don't know what it is with him and that sheep, but he loves sheep. They have to pass a law, and the judge has to give a court order to keep the white man off of the sheep. But we just didn't do that in Africa. It's not in our nature to do that. But the white man and the white woman having intercourse with the dogs and animals in the caves and hills of Europe, and they still do it today in the hills of America, came in and gave the Indians syphilis and gonorrhea. Now AIDS is out there. They want us to believe that a green monkey gave it to them. Come on. It might have come from a green monkey, but it was a white man that gave it to the green monkey. AIDS is no accident. The white man has something going. The white man is planning, and always has, and always will, it's nothing new, genocide against black people. AIDS is a form of genocide. That's why we've got to wake up, clean up, and stand up. Give the white man and the white woman their filthy ways back. And we won't have to worry about it. And we will give them their practices back. We will go back to our natural godlike state and our Afrocentric way of living.
Ooh, that brings up a point. I'm opening up the floor to discussion. If you want to join the StreamYard, you can. If you are new to the chat, welcome. If you're one of my OGs, welcome back. This is Sly Jones, and tonight, Dr. Khalid Muhammad is giving us that food. I ask that you open your mind to receive it. One of the things he brought up was about giving certain people their filthy ways back, their filthy European Greek ways back. I see now that there's AIDS medicine being sold on TV that I guess is supposed to stop the spread of AIDS or allow you to have unprotected sex with a person that has AIDS and you won't spread it, or I don't know how it works. I don't even remember the name of it because every time it comes on, it just disgusts me. I want to change the channel. But there's one thing before I'm able to hit the clicker that I notice on all these commercials, and it's always a black gay male representing the product. They say that there's not a genocide planned against a black man and that LGBT lives matter and all this other stuff. Yet and still, it's not a white man that you see being the flag bearer for these AIDS, I guess, prevention medications. So, again, just food for thought. You know, everything that Dr. Khalid said 20, 30 years ago is just as timely then as it is now. Case in point, the females that we're talking about tonight and their shenanigans. We just watched a video of a woman that called the police on a black family for simply moving into the neighborhood. Now I have an example of a white woman that's angry because EMS had to park to save somebody's life, and it just so happens that they blocked her car. Poor lady. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share the video with you now. If I can, I think I can. I know I can. Here we go.
Hi, ma'am. What's your view on all this?
I think that he needs to move.
Who, the ambulance?
Walking. Yeah.
Because he's locking you in?
Yeah.
So the ambulance here dealing with the stabbing victim should move because you're inconvenienced.
The world is not going to stop. If that was critical, they wouldn't be sitting in a parking lot
Yeah, it's not
doing
critical,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And I'm sorry that people don't like that. That's just tough shit.
Why are you harassing first responders doing their job, though?
No, I asked them to move. I wasn't harassing
Well,
them.
you're on.
Have someone that got stabbed in the head, so we can't do that right now, okay?
Well, I'm not going to stay here for them.
You're gonna stay here. No, we're gonna. Yes, you are.
No.
They could be hitting on the okay?
Well, then why didn't you say that?
Because you told me that you weren't gonna leave here. You were gonna head out at the same time, okay?
Sorry for the audio. It's as loud as it gets.
Yes, I know. If that was an emergency crisis, they wouldn't stay there. Yes.
Have a good day.
You too.
Even the cop on this one just had to say, you know what? Just have a better day. There was no point even trying to argue with this Karen right here. They're working on a stab wound victim who is fighting for their life. And this Karen has nothing better to do. Catching up with the chat, we have Post Manu 2002 in the house. Glad to have you here. Who else do we have new? Revolutionist 1945. Thank you so much for sharing the page, man. That is such a big help for the channel and getting like-minded people together, people that may have never heard Dr. Khaled's message or the people that need to hear it. For me, I find motivation, because there's nobody else out there. Dick Gregory is gone. Louis Farrakhan to an extent, but not to the level that Khalid Muhammad did. What's up, Entertainment and Star Wars? Another one of my favorite YouTubers. Please like and subscribe to his channel. He should definitely be in the tens of 20s of thousands of subscribers. But the way the YouTube algorithm works, sometimes awesome creators don't get noticed or get the attention they deserve. So again, please show some love to my boy Entertainment and Star Wars, one of my favorite YouTubers in the game, one of my day one subscribers, and somebody who I do watch really on a consistent basis. Love how he's evolved his channel to show new content as well. All right. Before we go back to Dr. Khaled, again, I have one more example. Now, this is cul-de-sac Karen. Again, it's not always divided on racial lines. There is an air of crazy out there that just seems to be spreading, and now it's just being caught on tape. Here's another crazy. Another cuckoo bird.
What you did. However, I have no idea who called the police.
I did.
Okay.
Felicia, let me stop you right there.
Now,
let me stop you
finish.
right there.
Let me finish, and then you can speak.
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, you call the police on my son, 8-year-old son, for riding his toy dirt bike in this neighborhood. Is that not true?
I called because it is illegal for a dirt bike to be on the streets, no matter who is riding
Deanna?
it and how old they are.
Deanna,
Period.
that is a toy dirt bike.
It is illegal.
That is a that is a
illegal.
toy. If it is illegal, and you as a neighbor, why would you call the police on an 8-year-old?
Your husband is a police officer.
Exactly.
Should know the law.
Why would you
know the
call?
HOA rules.
Why would you call the police on an 8-year-old boy instead of doing what you just did right here, coming down here and with the police and talking to me as a parent? What responsibility does Jaden have as an 8-year-old kid in the street for a police officer to pull up to him on the street because you feel that he at 8 is doing something illegal?
I think
What do you think?
I think you, as a parent, are allowing your 8-year-old child to be on the street in an illegal bike.
Excuse me. Wait a second.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Hi. Talk to you? Okay, I'm Kiara. I'm her daughter.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to explain something to you because I watched the news lately. Do you know what happens to a little boy when they see police come up to them? A little black boy at that, and you guys described him as a black person.
We did
you
not.
described him as a
We
black
did
person.
not.
That's what came on the
That's what
report.
came on the report. We saw the report. That's how we know you guys called.
And we did not use those words.
And that's what they said on the report.
Regardless, if you felt that my 8-year-old child is doing something that involves police officers, that's illegal. That's illegal. Not only something that he's been doing around here for more than 3 years.
I know.
And he's been riding with the president. He's been riding with the president of the HOA's son and daughter.
And it's wrong.
The white kids, but you had no problem. You did not call the police on them. Why didn't you call the police on the white kids across the way?
So let me tell you why. Because down in our cul-de-sac, we have a bunch of small children who play.
Were they outside? It's a toy bike. It's not a big old bike.
Is it illegal, Deanna, for the same kids, the same white kids, to ride on a lawnmower up and down the street?
And let me tell you.
Do they not do that, Deanna?
It's illegal.
Did you call the police, Deanna?
The only people I saw on a tractor.
I know you see that. You live right across the street. There's no way you didn't see them pull a dang lawnmower.
Yeah, but that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Let me.
Wait.
No.
You cannot tell me that I saw something that I did not see.
tell you saw anything.
But yes, I agree. John acknowledged that he rides his kids on the bike.
That's not my point. That's not my point. My point.
This is what you all let it come to.
My
She
point
asked
is
for a conversation. A meeting. And now we're having a meeting with
You're a bully.
This is
Your
what
boy
it
denied
said.
it.
Deanna.
I didn't deny it.
Deanna.
Let him talk. Hold up.
Janelle, be quiet.
Deanna.
No, I'm not going to stand here and be yelled and screamed at in my neighborhood. And it's my neighborhood. It's your neighborhood. It's all we need for you. We think so. What am I supposed to do? It's fine. My house is on the market. I'm out. But let me tell you something. If those people show up again and try to intimidate me,
What people? You don't know the people.
again, they are accusing me of doing something that you can't do.
Yeah, I heard. You heard.
Okay.
So
what about the incident 2 weeks ago?
Ain't got nothing to do. We talking about the issue with the kids. That's a result after that.
Let me tell you
If you want to complain about that, complain about that.
Oh Lord, HOA Karen. Let's give it up to HOA Karen. Oh my gosh. Like I say, it's more and more examples. And I just want to prepare my people for when their Karen incident happens. My mother has had 2 potential Karens, all within the same week, grocery shopping. One older Caucasian female snatched the groceries out of her hand and put it on the belt and made the comment, "I don't care about no COVID." Now, my mom's just minding her business, buying her lunch like she always does. She kind of has a routine. And that's how she was treated at the grocery store for just buying groceries. That's right. Entertainment is Star Wars. I'm not advocating violence in any way, but some of them that do get physical where they cough in people's face and such, I feel like anybody in that predicament should have the right to defend themselves. And it is racism at its finest. And you're talking about having a thick skin and being able to take that. I don't think I'd be able to, especially when it comes to my family. Especially in a place where I have to live and feel safe and not ever feel threatened or feel like I'm going to get a letter from an HOA or have the police take the encounter the wrong way. And then I end up having a broken arm or broken neck or, end up seriously injured over nothing. Jasmine says, yeah, they think they own everything. Exactly. Yeah, she called on purpose. And knows that the kid was only 8 years old, but they've been using the police, these racists have, as their own personal police force. And they feel like their privilege gives them the right to call 911 and say, this black person is attacking me. And because they know they're going to come out 3 cars deep, guns drawn, tasers drawn, ready to hurt somebody, to save this damsel in distress, and then all of a sudden, boom, death by cop. The cops don't get indicted. They go away scot-free or go become security guards elsewhere and get pensions, and the police unions raise money for their legal defense. So these guys walk away rich young men who have murdered unarmed citizens and walked away absolutely scot-free. So yeah, we're frustrated, and if this were happening to any other ethnic group, I would stand behind them, just like it's happening overseas. You have the Koreans standing up, you have the Japanese standing up, you have people all the way in the Netherlands standing up to say, hey, right is right, wrong is wrong. And if you believe in just that, then I'm more than willing to open up a dialogue. And if we stand on opposite ends of politics, whatever, if you can acknowledge right is right and wrong is wrong. What I find a lot of people on the other end of the political spectrum that don't think Black Lives Matter, if you look at their posts, everything is cynical, everything is angry, or they take everything as being funny. Oh, all I have to do is say white privilege and I can get my way. Or what's their favorite? All lives matter. Or if they would stop resisting, then they wouldn't be arrested. And, you know, they should stop burning down cities and be more like Martin Luther King Jr. Yet and still, when you have white supremacists walk up on Capitol grounds with AR-15s and extended magazines, they don't have a problem with that at all. And they're flying every flag except the United States flag. They have flags with snakes that say, "Don't tread on me." They're flying rebel flags, which were anarchists against the federal government. You know, they're flying Trump flags. These aren't patriots. These aren't people that love their country. Because if they love their country, they would have to realize that, you know, it's a tapestry of many different colored people, and they were not here first. Just because their ancestors settled it and took it doesn't mean that it was theirs to begin with. Again, enough is enough. But I leave myself to wiser teachings. And again, some people may consider it hateful, but I think there's enough truth to it that if you listen to Dr. Khaled's words, you cannot dispute them. So I'm going to leave it up to somebody, again, more wise than I am, so that he can teach. Again, God rest his soul. But I'm happy to be able to share his words with you guys tonight. So again, here is Dr. Khalid Muhammad and his speech about being aware of the white woman, in this case, Karen. Here we go.
The way we lived before they came among us. Brothers and sisters, this case has really troubled me. It has troubled me because these young brothers, in my judgment, are not guilty of anything. In my mind is that the white man is guilty, and I'm trying to hurry and get to that. The real criminal is the white man. The real criminal is the white woman. The white man is guilty, and the white woman is guilty. It's true. The scripture hints and gives us a sign that the oppressors of the earth, and primarily one great beast, mentioned in Revelation and in the book of Daniel, one great beast, and that great beast is America. And the Old Testament talks about this great beast even beyond Daniel, that there would be an uprising. Says that their cities would be set on fire. Says the people would come from a distant land, from a far land, and their only desire would be to lay him low or to kill him. It speaks of the hint of even the women of this oppressor being raped by other nations of the earth. It talks about the murder of the women of that oppressive nation. It talks about the babies, the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned babies of the oppressor. The Bible talks being snatched from the white mother's arms and the baby's head being dashed against the rocks. This is the Bible talk. I don't have any regret at all over anything that happens to the white man or the white woman. None. I don't care how you feel about that. I don't care what you think of me about that. As many of our people as they have murdered and they continue to murder, as many of our women as they have raped. I don't condone rape, but I don't care about a devil being busted in the head with bricks and rocks and beaten with pikes. The only problem is the no good devil didn't die. That's the only problem. You say, why are you so hard? Why are you so harsh? There is no justice for the black man and black woman in America. We didn't ask to come here. We were brought here against our will and made to work as burden bearers for white America. for white America. I don't care nothing about the white woman, not a white man. I believe those brothers are innocent and the white man is the guilty one. But what upset the white man is he thought that that was the beginning of what he's been reading in the book. When their women will be beaten and mutilated and killed in cold blood. God's answer to the millions upon millions, even billions of our people that have been destroyed by them over the past 4,000 years in general, during the 6,000-year period of their rule on the planet. He thought this was the beginning of that. And so on trumped up charges, they take our brothers and lock them up. A white woman who can't even remember what happened. So she said. But the nasty, low-down, two-legged dog jogging in the park that time of night. I haven't forgotten Stewart in Boston, Massachusetts. A devil who charged the black man. He chose what black man he was. Charged him with the murder of his wife and his unborn baby. And charged him with shooting him when he had actually shot himself. Killed his baby unborn in his white womb and killed his own white wife. And then to seek the attention and to seek actually the sympathy of the people, he goes on national television and it goes on international satellite that a nigger had shot him, that a nigger had killed him and his white wife and his white baby. And the emotions of the world were stirred up, not just against one black man, but the emotions of the world were stirred up against black men all over the world because of a no good, lying devil who said that a black man shot him and killed his wife and was responsible for his baby never coming from the womb into the light of the sun. Then we find out that the devil was lying. Didn't he commit suicide? Then the devil killed himself. Well, that's all right. The only regret I have is that we didn't get a chance to kill him. That's the only regret I have. You can be weak if you want to. We will never be strong until you face the reality of what is happening to us. We will always be weak and at the feet of white people, groveling and begging at their feet, begging for the crumbs that fall from their table. We will always be at their mercy and the mercy of their lily white courts. Judge Bruce cut 'em loose. Bruce Wright said, black robes, white justice. Black robes, white justice. It's just us. Meaning just white folks. It's just for them. Statue of Liberty, blind. Well, that could mean something else. Doesn't mean necessarily fairness and impartiality. Blind could mean that you turn a deaf ear and you cover your eyes when it's time to give justice to the oppressed. The huddled masses that are now at your shore and at your door, but didn't come to your shores and your doors as immigrants, but came to build your country for you. A blind bitch sitting in the harbor who does not seek justice for the black man and the black woman. When I say bitch, it only means a dog. We take it and make it a negative cursing word, but a bitch is a dog, a jimmy dog that will raise her tail and go around from dog to dog to dog. It makes no difference, and the white woman is that kind of a two-legged dog that will go out in Central Park in the middle of the night like a jiffy, low-down, two-legged bitch dog, looking for somebody in the midnight hour. Somebody says she has a black boyfriend. I don't know if it's true or not. If she has one, he is a boy friend. Huh? He's the dog's best friend. Can't be a man's friend. Black men have black women. Black men don't have white women. You can wear all the dreadlocks you want to and then leave out of here and go get you a white woman. You can wear all of the kitchen cloth you want to and then go out of here and get you a white girl that walk through Harlem walking your dog on your knee, walking through Brooklyn and Bronx and the Queens and Long Island and Jersey with your dog. Because you're nothing but the white man's nigger in a dressed up way. Leave the white man's diseased white woman alone. And you leave the diseased white man alone, sister. Diseased mind, diseased spirit, diseased morals, diseased in every way, have corrupted the very air that we have to breathe and the water we have to breathe, have mixed truth and falsehood together. He's lying. But a chippy, a bitch, a two-legged dog that will parade herself in Central Park, hoping for a cheap thrill, hoping that someone will see her, and we are not sure who did it to the dog. But the sperm or the semen that they got from the bitch, remember a bitch is a two-legged dog. I have to keep reminding you because you're so weak and punkified until you will try to make it other than what I'm saying. But whatever definition you have for a bitch, that's the white woman. You take it or let it go. The sperm or the semen that they find from her belongs to her boyfriend. It didn't belong to Yusuf Salman. It didn't belong to our other two brothers. It belonged to somebody else. And according to the science of forensics in police investigation and police science, the important role that DNA plays in investigation and fact-finding, DNA is supposed to be like a print, a fingerprint. In some cases, it's even better than a fingerprint. And so when they run the forensic test and they run the DNA test, it doesn't come up showing any connection with any of our young brothers. It's only connected to the bitch, two-legged dog, white girl, and those who were connected to her, but nothing to do with our young brothers.
Okay, now that quote reminds me of two things. I think when I hear that, I think of Kobe Bryant, and it also brings to mind Trump, and that Trump wasn't just wrong before he started filing bankruptcies. You know, he was wrong going all the way back to the Central Park Five. You know, so for those of you that aren't sure what he's talking about, there was a movie made last year, I think, right here in 2019, referencing the Central Park Five. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but if you've seen it, let me know down in the comments how that movie is. But that also goes back to the Kobe case. How many different kinds of semen were found in that girl's drawers when she tried to say that Kobe raped her? See, everything comes full circle. And like I said, I know that Dr. Khalid is using some very colorful language and sounds like he's condemning an entire race of people. And he's not. He's strictly talking about the ones that have taken advantage of the system to get a black man hurt or killed for no reason at all, except for the fact that he's black, or to blame a crime on a black man where the man shot himself, killed his wife, his pregnant wife, his unborn child, and blamed it on a black man. You know, these are the people that are actually going out committing crimes or trying to get our people hurt and killed, death by cop, whatever you want to call it. So, again, it's not my place to try to condemn an entire race of people because that wouldn't be realistic. I have white neighbors, I have white coworkers that I do not hate. There's a handful of white people I grew up with now that have become hardcore Trumpers who support the rebel flag. They want to keep the Confederate memorials up. They have nothing but Obama jokes. Obama's wife is a man. Her name was Michael. They have the proof. Obama is a Kenyan Muslim, blah, blah, blah. You know, these are the same people that we grew up smoking blunts with at the bus stop, you know, that grew up on the poor side of town, that would spend the night with us whenever their alcoholic parents weren't getting along. You know, the ones we looked out for, thick and thin, you know, we considered our road dogs back then. Now they not only have turned their backs to us as a people, they're speaking out strictly based on politics, not based on common sense, not based on life experience. They refuse to wear a mask because they think it's the cool thing to do to support their political beliefs, not because there's a pandemic and it's just good common courtesy, even though it's not a cure-all. And we know that. Will the mask stop the disease? No, it will not. We know it won't. But any precaution is better than none in this environment. And now even Pence himself is wearing a mask. So if that should tell that ignorant base of people something, it's that, hey, before you become this big stupid monolith and just march to the beat of that Nazi-ass drum, remember your common sense. Remember the people that looked out for you. If you work for $8 an hour, don't you tell me a fucking thing about affirmative action. If you don't have health care, don't bitch about Obamacare. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. To those white people out there that talk about welfare, we all know that right now there are more white recipients of welfare at any time in history, not only due to COVID, but because of the state of the economy under Donald J. Trump. So don't fuss at me about Black Lives Matter. If anything, you should be standing as allies with us against the powers that be, instead of being angry at us because our kids are graduating college at a higher rate than yours, or that, you know, our per capita income goes up, or because in the next 10 to 15 years in this country, you'll be a minority because the Asians, Blacks, and Latinos will have outpopulated you. Let's say it's time to just get that shit off your chest now. You're not going to get your race war. It's not going to happen. You know, your lone wolf assholes going out there firing at peaceful protesters. You jacked up, steroided up cops who join the force now and find out that you can't jack up people anymore and want to turn in your badge. You know, you're losing your place. Your authority's being usurped. You know, that power, that absolute power that has absolutely corrupted you, we're taking our power back. And if you don't like it, leave the force, or like you like to tell us, if you don't like it, leave the country. You can go to the whitest country if you want to, the whitest country on earth. Your education level is so low, you'll stick out like a sore thumb. As soon as you open your mouth, they'll know that you're not an educated individual. So, you know, they're not going to be that impressed. They might look out for you because of their white skin, but certainly you're not going to go to their countries and be treated with any level of great dignity or respect, because they know what to expect from Americans because of what they see on the news. They watch BBC, they watch Al Jazeera, they watch CNN, they watch Fox, they watch it all. They hear what kind of buffoon Trump sounds like, and they look at how stupid the Trump followers make themselves look and sound as well. So, you know, it's just, you know, things are starting to come full circle right now, and I'm just the messenger. Please don't be angry at me or shoot the messenger. All right, I've got more Dr. Khalid lined up, but I did want to show another example of when keeping it Karen goes wrong. This is who I call compost Karen. Brother's just working, trying to blow leaves, doing his job, and once again, Karen has to show her ass. Here's another example. You know how StreamYard is. I got it coming up. Just be patient. Appreciate everybody who's here in the chat tonight and stuck around with me. All right, here we go.
was blowing leaves?
Listen what I'm telling you. If I blew the leaves off the property, you feel me? This property will be clean.
Stop dumping
Nobody
on
won't do
my
it.
property!
Can you please listen to me? I didn't listen.
I'm not.
Listen.
You're not to videotape me.
Listen, I did not blow nothing off this property. I just blew the street off. That's all I did.
You
I'm not
blew
the
it
maintenance.
onto the street.
No, look.
No, you did.
Look at this. How did I blow anything off the street and I'm doing power scroll? Think about it. I don't do maintenance. I do power scroll. Look.
Who was blowing leaves?
Listen what I'm telling you. If I blew the leaves off the property, you feel me? This property will be clean. This property is nothing clean. All I did was blew the edge. You feel me? Onto over there.
Yes, this is my property.
She tripping.
This is my property.
Call the company. Don't talk to me. Police lady.
Private property.
Call the police lady.
I will. You know what? It's called dumping. I've talked to the code enforcement
Okay,
officers
well
already.
do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Do what you have to do.
I love that you're videotaping me. That's lovely.
You beautiful, baby. You so beautiful.
You know what? I really appreciate your rudeness.
You beautiful.
And your inability to even
I'm
have a
not
conversation.
being rude. I ain't say not one cuss word to you.
Out my window.
That's
cool. Out of my property.
That's cool.
It is my property. It is illegal.
Clean it up then. Look, clean your property up then, lady. Look at it. Clean it up. Maybe nobody won't do it.
Dumping
nobody won't do
my
it.
property.
Oh, you mad now?
Yeah, I am mad.
I'm
mad. And you know what?
Listen, clean your property up.
Next time
Maybe
I'll call
nobody
the
will.
cops. I will call the cops.
Nobody
you know
won't do
because
it.
This is dumping.
You're right.
You are illegally dumping on my property.
You're right.
Every time you blow at CM Design Create Residential Services on my land, you are illegally dumping.
Call the police. Do what you got to do. You feel me? You making all this huffing and puffing in front of these folks' house.
I don't mind. It's my neighbors.
Well, go talk to them.
Illegally dumping on my property.
Go talk to them about it.
No, I'm talking to you because you're the ones doing the work.
Check this out. If I was white, right? If I was white, you would not be coming. You would not be coming to me with this shit, bro. No, you wouldn't.
I would call anybody.
Look, you going viral. You going viral. Another one. Look, you going viral.
I can.
You going viral, shawty.
Every company.
You going viral, shawty. You going viral. Look at you. Look, you turning red, baby. Look at you. You turning like an apple right now. Let it go. Frozen. Let it go, baby. Elsa, let it go. Okay? See you later, baby. You have a nice one. All right? You want to back up a little bit? Because I don't want to run over your foot. Let it go. Elsa, baby. Elsa.
Elsa. Oh, man. Let it go. Just let it go. Oh, man. That one was funny. I got a really good laugh out of that one. But again, it's that same behavior. And it's happening over and over. Because there's an evil spirit that is spreading. Just like that sand spread from the Sahara Desert 5,000 miles away and covered the entire sky. That is what energy, that is what karma is like. You know, that energy just happens to spread through people that have an evil spirit and willing to receive it. You know, they invite it in and then they just can't wait to show their evil side and be vocal. And, you know, most people are born with the shut the fuck up gene. You know, you pick your battles, you know when to speak up, you know when to shut the fuck up. We have to do it at work all the time. We did it growing up with our teachers to show respect, you know, with our elders, our grandparents, whoever it might be. You know, we were all born with that shut the fuck up gene. And it's like somehow there's a glitch in the matrix where they just don't have that anymore. And they just feel the need to tell you how they think, what they think, stop you from going on about your day, you know, impede your freedom. And at some point, it's going to become dangerous for them because we're not all going to be backed into that corner. We're not all going to be talked to that way. And it's even going to be among themselves. They're going to have to check each other in their own communities because there's just something about white women and cell phone footage where right now it's just solid gold. I mean, every day there's a new viral Karen. You know, last year it was only like 3 or 4. You had the little black girl selling water. They called the police on her. And now there's just been so many since then. Jasmine Virgo says it doesn't matter who was doing the garden work, she still would have had something to complain about. And her property was fucking filthy. If you look at that, all that grass and trees and everything she had, she was probably out of code. And now she just wants somebody to blame it on so she don't have to pay $200 or $300 for them boys to come on back over there and cut. And wouldn't it be so ironic if she called around and found out that that guy came right back and would be the guy that she hired to cut her yard and to clean all this shit up? Or if somehow they get the contract. That would be perfect karma for her. And for my brother who had to deal with her. Now, there was one video that I'm looking for now on my channel. I mean, actually on my Facebook page, where there was one sister that decided she was not going to take it. I want to see if I can find it. There it is. No, that's not it. Ah, man, content is not available right now. But there was a video up of a sister that actually was able to, I guess she was called the N-word at the store. And she dared the lady to say it again. And, of course, she said it again. And, yeah, she got what was coming to her. Let me see. I may have another similar video. But they're being so funny right now. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this one is crazy. Yeah, let me show you this bonus video before we go back to Dr. Khalid real quick. Babylon is falling. You better believe it. If you haven't read Revelations, I suggest you do.
Oh my God, Matt, stop! Stop. Enough.
Don't ever swing on my brother.
Oh my God, I think he's dead.
Don't ever swing on my brother.
Look at these niggas. Stupid.
Wake your ass up. Wake your ass up.
Run away before you go to jail, idiot.
Ooh. Dog walked him. See, called him the N-word and thought there would be no repercussions. And all hell broke loose. You just can't keep using that word and think you're going to walk away. And to my white counterparts out there who may not understand why we can say it and you can't. When I was in the military, we used to run across Marines all the time. I was in the Army. And we would run across Marines and, with Marines, being the lowest educated soldiers, Uncle Sam's misguided children, as they call them. Lowest ASVAB score, always get guys from broken homes, crazy psychos that like to play with fire and shit. Those become your Marines. We call them jarheads. Now, among themselves and other sailors and whatnot, they can call themselves jarhead. Hey, jarhead. Come here, jarhead. Jarhead, you're an asshole. They can do that because they have that camaraderie among each other. If I, as a soldier, walk up to a Marine and say, hey, jarhead, it's like calling him a nigger. Because of the camaraderie that they have. Because this is our blood, these are our people. If we want to use a little condescending humor among ourselves, we should have that right. And if you want to say the word nigger, say it. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't make excuses. Oh, if I say it, they're going to fire me from my job. If I say it, then my black friends, blah, blah, blah. No, motherfucker, you want to say it. So if you're bad and you want to say it, say it. Just say it. Stop making excuses because you're going to say, well, I have Second Amendment right. I have the right to free speech. I can say anything I want to say. Fuck, stop being a pussy and say it. Suffer the consequences for your words and actions. But stop being a punk. That's why we can say it to each other. Anyway, back to Dr. Khalid. Welcome to anybody who's new to the chat. It's your boy Sly Jones. Going long tonight, but, again, I'm enjoying this beautiful moment with my people. It's not too many channels out there that speaking truth. You got too many punks out there that, are more concerned with female gossip and bullshit and starting drama and calling women out their names and doing those kinds of things, or sisters that participate in that. Like I say, every now and then, messy is fun, funny, entertaining, or whatnot. As long as you don't get wrapped up in the shit. When you start taking sides and start capping for people, caping for people, that's when the shit gets out of control. It's okay to be a fan, but when you start getting personally involved and start doxing people and doing that stupid shit, that's where I draw the line. So, again, this is the kind of crowd that I like to have. Consciously minded black people with a sense of humor. Not all black, actually. I've got some white people in the chat, too. But open-minded, sense of humor, but see the seriousness in the topic and are able to receive it and respect it. So to everybody that's here, thank you for taking the time out tonight. I'm going to work harder to provide you with the best content possible in the future. So please stick around, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you want to, I'll leave the StreamYard invite in the chat. You are more than welcome to join in. If you got a channel to promote, come on in, promote your channel. If you want to react, you can react. You don't have to have your camera hooked up. Just have a microphone or a phone. It can be iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. Just click the link and you can join in. All right. We got some more Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I'll have some parting words. I'll be right back.
There'll come a time when we will have all kinds of pipes. And we'll be beating white folks everywhere. When you wake up, that's what he's afraid of. When you wake up, you'll be killing everything white that ain't right that's in sight. All over the place. But you'll start by killing the white in yourself. We'll start killing the white in ourselves. The first pipe crew, we must take the pipe and start beating the white man out of us. Beating the white woman out of our minds and our hearts and our ways and the way we deal with each other. We deal with each other the way the white man would deal with us. We deal with each other the way the white woman would deal with us. She's a bitch. She's a two-legged, low-down dog. Didn't remember, she said. She couldn't positively identify anybody. Well, how do we know she was raped? Who said she was raped? She's been giving it up all over the world. And they like whips. They like to be beat. They like blood. Am I lying? I mean, they get their thrills. Jimmy Swaggart would pay big money. Jimmy didn't want to get into bed. Jimmy just liked to watch what was happening in the bed. Jimmy would pay big money to sit there and ooh and ah over what was going on in the bed. They're nothing but dogs. Freaks. That's not your nature. You were not a homosexual in Africa, black man and black woman. You were not what you call gay, and I don't use that term gay. It dignifies madness too much. Gay. Like you happy. Hell, you mean gay. You didn't come here that way. The Watusi didn't walk through Africa. Booty got it, baby. Booty got it. The little poor pygmy sister didn't walk through making muscles and trying to be a man. I was at the Harlem Week activities yesterday, watching the sisters come through with African cultural attire on. Woman with woman. One sister came through, muscles bigger than any man in here. She been working out. Had on some tight jeans. Had her kente cloth on. She was walking with her woman. She walked through the festival like this. Like she was Shaka Zulu. Coming through. We didn't do that in Africa. Until the white man came among us. We just didn't do that. And we didn't freak out over bodies in Africa. Some parts of Africa, as I said earlier, we could be buck naked. We didn't trip on the body. The body is sacred. When you study the Afrocentric mind, which is rooted when it is itself and when it is in harmony with the true nature of itself, it is rooted in God's mind. And we see the body as a divine vessel and expression of God. That's the African way. We see the body as the temple of God. Yes, it is. Where the very Spirit of God dwells. Jesus said, you are the temple of the living God. That's the way we see the body in Africa. Black woman walking through the jungles of Africa. Big breasts. You don't see the brother swinging through the trees. Sister be naked and they jump out of the trees and jump on sister, beat her in the head with a coconut and rape her in the bushes. We don't do that in Africa. It's not in our nature. Even after all of these years, it's hard to find it even today. It exists today because somebody's come with a new foreign way. Before the coming of the white man, you couldn't even find it. The body, the temple of God. That's the way we looked at it. Black man walked through the jungle naked. See a sister, he doesn't get all excited. That's his sister. Proper things at the proper time. Everything in its proper perspective. He understands the beauty and the aesthetics of the human divine form. That's just an expression again of God. He's the God, she's the goddess under the Almighty God. That's the way the black man and woman is in Africa. That's our nature. But the white man, as Public Enemy says, as Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Terminator X, the S1W, and at that time, I believe Professor Grip was with them. And I don't never like to talk without mentioning Grip. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not going to go with Gorilla. I'm going to mention Grip. Yes, sir. They took a page from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in her Cress theory of color confrontation and white world supremacy and white people's fear of genetic annihilation, and they wrote, fear of a black planet. Fear of a black planet. Why a fear of a black planet? Because white people believe that if the white woman really cohabitates with the black man, that they will be wiped from the face of the planet Earth. They believe that the black man can destroy white people totally. Now, there ain't no reason for you to form that kind of army. the only weapon you're going to use. No, that's not what I'm advocating here today. But that's their fear. Basketball. Big brown ball. Early sports, there was a big black ball representing the scrotum sac or the testes of the black male genitalia or the black male sex organ. What's the object of basketball? When you study psychology and the psyche of people, you will understand that the games they play have something to do with what's happening down in their subconscious mind. Basketball, the object is to keep this big brown ball from getting down to the other end of the court, because there's a hole down there with some white nets hanging from it, representing the blonde hair that grows around the white female sex organ in the pubic area. And you want to keep this big black or brown ball from getting in that hole with the blonde or the white nets or hair hanging from it down on the other end of the court. Not only is the black man shooting it in 3-pointers from the top of the key, shooting from half court and making it go in. You can even have it way down the other end of the court. He can take it off of the opposite team's backboard and throw it all the way down to the other end of the court on the buzzer and hit nothing but blonde net. But not only are we doing that, but now he can stop dribbling at half court. That means that he has learned how to get past obstacles. The black man can stop dribbling at half court almost, and take to the air, fly to the top of the key, start a 360-degree turn at the free throw line, and like Jordan, stick that leg and that tongue out, and by the time he gets to the goal, slam dunk under the basket with a half twist, with a gainer twist, slam dunk over his head and jam it in the hole with the blonde hair, the white net thing, but just cramming it. Wham! Daryl Dawkins started busting the backboard. Shattering the backboard. And by the way, I could be all over the court. You say, oh, it's just basketball, but in the subconscious of the white man, he said, it makes him feel less than even what he already is. He sits there cringing. My God, I don't have a chance. Even little Spud Webb. Spud Webb is almost a midget. He shows that no matter how short the black man is, he can rise to the occasion. Spud Webb even slam dunking. But the net and the goal represents the white woman's vagina. What it represents? Look at football. Used to be a big, long, black ball. Now it's a black, long, brown ball. What's the object of the game, Dr. Wellesley says? The object is to keep that long, dark ball from getting down to the other end of the field this time. Because at the other end of the field is some white goalposts. Some goalposts with open, looking like open legs, with some white pads wrapped around it, representing the white, open, inviting legs of the Central Park jogger. Of the white woman. They want to make sure to keep that long, dark ball from getting down to the other end of the field and getting between them white legs. I'm not being vulgar. I'm giving you the scientific study of one of the best black women in the science field that we have. Dr. Frances Cress Weldon. You can get her book on the Cress theory. He said, but look at the white man, what he thinks of himself. Baseball is a little scrawny white ball. It's not big like the big basketball. It's not big like the big football. It's a little scrawny white ball. And he stands there with a stick in and he tried to knock the hell out of the baseball. He tried to knock it out of sight, knock it out of the damn stadium. Get this little thing out of my face. And then if he's really into it, he plays golf. Dr. Welsing said, you see a white man standing, swinging a stick between his legs, trying to hit a little scrawny, puny white ball called the golf ball in a hole in black Mother Earth. Deep, huh? Deep. The white balls are little balls. The black balls and the brown balls are bigger balls. You ever see a white man? He's pacing back and forth in the waiting room at the hospital. His wife is having a baby. You know, his dog. And he's pacing back and forth. He passes out cigars, right? Say, you better watch what you put in your mouth. The cigar is a sex symbol. The cigar is a symbol of the black male genitalia. It's a symbol of the black male sex organ. Dark and long. He passes them out to everybody in the waiting room because his wife is in labor and she's getting ready to have a baby. So the long black or dark cigar is a symbol of childbirth. He does not pass out little skinny, short, scrawny, white cigarettes. He passes out long black or dark cigars because Dr. Welsing says the cigarette is what he thinks, the white cigarette is what the white man thinks of himself down in his subconscious inferiorization thinking process. He feels inadequate. He feels impotent. He feels as he is. The symbol for the judges, the black robe. The limousine, the main limousine, is the long black limousine. Valentine's Day, the white man gives out chocolate cake. And it's a good gift if it has nuts in the chocolate cake. Huh? Fraud. You know the fraud that they call fraud. And that whole school of so-called psychology. Everything was rooted in something sexual and freakish. It's their constant preoccupation. So this two-legged dog, the white bitch dog in Central Park, was looking for a cheap thrill. I don't believe our brothers had anything to do with it. But she got more than she was looking for. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She's no woman of honor. No woman that you should sit around crying for her, feeling sorry for her. She should have died. I cannot live my life according to the standards of white people. I cannot live my life according to the so-called moral codes of white people. I cannot live my life according to the so-called codes of ethics of white people, which is nothing but crap. She's a bitch, a two-legged dog and an animal and a thief. And she's only a sign of the many white women who are nothing but two-legged dogs and bitches and beasts. And their babies are bastards. Because the white race is a bastard nation, the illegitimate children of the Father Almighty God. Listen to you. All praise to you. The white man, her sons are sons of bitches. You say, Lord, child, I don't know if I'm going back down. No, I never heard a preacher talk like that in my life. Some of your mothers and aunts that you brought here, they said, your preacher really be cussing. That's the kind of language language the preacher used, that's the kind of language you need, and that's the kind of language the preacher must use. I'm not cursing. I'm not using profanity. Sons of bitches. These are the offsprings of a dog. And that's what the white man is. He is a son of a white, two-legged beast, dog, bitch, like the one in Central Park. Yes, he is. Illegitimate children of God. The odd people on the planet Earth. They are not natives anywhere on the face of the planet Earth. Not even in Europe. We are the original Europeans. The black man and the black woman. The white man is not a native nowhere on the planet. Study the Grimaldis in Europe, the early ones, and even before the Grimaldis, black people, we were there even before our early black ancestors. We're the people from all over the earth. We're the citizens.
First, let me just say thank you. It is so wonderful having you here today. It is wonderful being honored with the John F. Morgan Sr. Distinguished Faculty Lecturer, and it is wonderful to be at Emory. I wanted to talk about white rage, and I know it sounds crazy, but let me talk about how a black woman got to white rage. And although it looks like it began with Ferguson, actually, it began in February 1999 when a black man came home from a hard day's work. And he went home, got into his apartment, and realized there was no food. You know that when you come home, you worked hard, you look in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator's looking back at you. And there's that moment where he's like, oh, but he's in New York. And you know, New York, the city that never sleeps. So you know there's going to be food available. So he goes outside, he steps on his apartment, you know, the porch, and whew, a car rolls up. 4 officers of the NYPD hop out, guns drawn. 41 bullets later, Amadou Diallo goes down. 19 of those bullets hit. Amadou Diallo was unarmed. He had committed no crime. There was no warrant out for his arrest. He was just a black man in the Bronx. Now, that is bad enough. But then I'm watching Ted Koppel's Nightline, and Mayor Rudy Giuliani is on. And Giuliani is just unrepentant. And Ted Koppel, as you know, is not a softball interviewer. And he is on Giuliani. He's like, Amadou. And Rudy's like, what? He barely says the man's name. What he does say, my policies are working. New York City is safer now than it has been in years. And he pulls out his little flip charts with the little graph showing crime going down. My policies are working. New York City is safer. And I'm thinking, it's not safer for Amadou. Safer for whom? And the policies that he's talking about, it's the broken windows policing policy. That broken windows policing policy basically hyper-polices black and brown neighborhoods, criminalizing black people, criminalizing brown people. You jaywalk, the cops are on you. Drop some litter on the ground, cops are on you. You're standing, cops are on you. You're walking, cops are on you. You are getting ready to step off the curb, cops are on you. That hyper-policing is the policy that Mayor Rudy Giuliani said was working. And while he talked about it, he said, and my police force is the most restrained and best behaved in the United States. I'm in Kafka land right now. You know, where Gregor Samsa's this big cockroach, but everybody's acting like it's normal, right? You know, because I'm thinking most restrained and best behaved don't fire 41 bullets at an unarmed man. I know something is wrong, but I don't know how to name it. And you know, we have to name things in order to be able to face them, to be able to deal with them. And so I don't know what to call this thing. And I'm just going, ugh. But as a scholar, I keep writing, I keep researching, I keep thinking, I keep teaching, I keep writing, I keep researching, I keep thinking. And then in August 2014, I'm in my home office and the TV is on. And I look up, and Ferguson is on fire. I mean, the flames are everywhere. And it didn't matter. I had the remote in my hand and I'm flipping the channels and it didn't matter. Let me see my left hand. It didn't matter if I'm watching MSNBC. Yeah. CNN or Fox. Out this door. It didn't matter. They all said the same thing. Look at black folks burning up where they live. Did you know that black people were burning up where they lived? Black folks are burning up where they live. What is wrong with black people? Burning up who burns up where they live? Because one of the things you begin to understand is that America needs the narrative of black pathology. You know, everything would be fine if only black folks would. Right? We've heard this. And then you begin to fill in the blank. If only they would value education. If only they would not be thugs. If only they would. You fill in the blank in terms of that black pathology, because that is absolutely necessary in the narrative of America. And so there I'm watching MSNBC, CNN, and Fox, all with the same narrative of black pathology, this black rage they're talking about. Well, I'm sitting up there and I'm shaking my head. You know how you're shaking your head like, And then I realized I'm looking shoulder to shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. I'm shaking my head so hard. And I said, no, this is white rage. Ooh. Ooh. This is white rage. I had lived in Missouri for 13 years. I saw the way that policy worked. I saw the way that policy systematically and systemically undermined African Americans' access to their citizenship rights. But as a nation, we were so focused in on the flames that we missed the kindle.
All right, guys, it was my pleasure to share the stream with you guys tonight. Dr. Khalid did hit on a lot of important points, and I did show the videos to prove it. There are some people that have the spirit of the devil and will not rest until they get up in somebody's face and let them know how they think and feel. I'm all for defending yourself against anyone that gets physical or feels like they can touch you or your children or your spouse or cough on you, do anything in this world to try to hurt you simply because of their politics or the color of your skin. Either way, whatever we do, no matter what our background is, whether it be Hebrew Israelite or Muslim or Christian, whether you belong to the Eastern Stars and the Masons, or whether you belong to any Greek fraternity, we all are one people. And it's time for us to get rid of the partitions and divisions among ourselves, and then we can start bridging the gap with the others. You know, because just like Malcolm said, we cannot prove acceptable to others until we can first prove acceptable to ourselves. Again, these videos are not to make you hate white women or hate white people at all. You have the right to make up your own mind who you're angry with and why. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just here to tell you to keep your eyes open, to love one another, to respect one another, and to stand up for yourself. All right, for everybody that stayed in the chat, I want to thank you. For all the new people, thanks for checking out the video. Down in the chat, the real ISIS won. What is up, sis? I see that you made it late, but hey, better late than never. Always glad to have you here too. Like Isis said, America needs the narrative of Black pathology for sure. And that's how we heal. Check out Real ISIS 1. Look up her name on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Like I say, I do this, but she does it a whole lot better. All right, guys. I love you all. Appreciate your time. Peace. And I hope to see you soon.